So today I want to share with you how I record and keep note of important meetings, appointments, that are both business and personally related. I do this two ways and they both feed into one. One of the very kind of simple ways that I won't go through because most people will be familiar with is I use Google Calendar. So as soon as I get an appointment or a meeting or a social engagement, I just stick it into Google Calendar, and at least then I've got an online reminder. My phone is predominantly with me most of the time, so it's a great way of doing that. But I'm a very tactile person and I like to use, actual to-do lists and have, physical sort of records of things as well. I have I suppose for all intensive purposes, like a large to-do folder / book that I use every day in the office. And this records sort of my call list, my email list, my to-dos that I need to do that day. And there's also a section for meetings in that. It's not a very big section, and I used that for the first 6 months of the year, but it really wasn't serving the amount of detail that I needed to be able to record for meetings, or even just to give me the scope of the day to be able to record multiple details. The box for the meeting section in what I used to really sort of plan my day wasn't big enough. So at the end of May, I went out, well actually for most of April and May I was researching, I suppose, like diaries and calendars and date books, those kind of things, and I couldn't find one that I was in love with or that sort of served the purposes I want. In the end, I sort of went out and I bought this Filofax. It's the Saffiano, and it's A5 size, and I've been using this for a little over a month. And I have to say, while it's not perfect, it definitely really is serving the need that I have for it right now. And I'm just going to walk you through how I set this up and how I use it, because when I was researching which type of diary or date book to purchase, I found these kind of ones really useful, and they really helped me to make kind of decisions in that. So I'm going to put this down on my desk, bring the camera a little bit closer and walk you through why I chose this particular one, what's working for me, what's not, what I'd love to change, and what I will be changing in it for 2016. So just give me a moment and we'll work on over to the Saffiano. So guys, this is my Saffiano, and we'll open it up. As I mentioned before, I've got the A5 size in raspberry, which is this really cool combination of this sort of, I suppose, like rubbed effect purple and a pink interior, which I love. So straight inside, obviously, you've got the pen holder. This is just a purple pen because my normal pen that I have with me day to day is something similar to this and doesn't fit inside the little pen holder there, so I normally just clip it onto the inside rings. In here I keep some spare paper clips for when I'm on the go, copy of my driver's license, one of my credit cards, and then I keep these two slots for business cards of people that I either meet in a meeting or ones that I like to keep handy or have on me a lot of the time. In here I keep sort of like meeting notes or brochures or things or pamphlets that maybe somebody might have given me in a meeting. Then we've got sort of the dust cover and the Filofax brand sheet as well. So as you can see already, I have started to customize my Filofax myself. When I was researching the different sort of date planner books that were available on the market, one of the things that I absolutely adored about the likes of the Erin Condren and the Kiki K's were the vast amount of sort of personalization and sort of decoration and things that people were doing to theirs to make them, I suppose, nicer and more enjoyable. So I had already decided that that was something that I wanted to do. I love to sort of decorate and sort of personalize things anyway. These stickers here, I love butterflies. I actually bought these stickers over 8 years ago for my own wedding and I never used them. And it just so happened I thought they worked really well. They're a combination of pink transparent and sort of this kind of summer sun yellow color, and I thought that worked really well with the colors here. So each of the different divider pages, this my planner came with 5 divider pages which were just numbered, and as you can see I've also changed that slightly as well. I've just used these kind of filing tabs that I buy in stationery stores to sort of change up what I wanted for each of the tabs, because the numbers just didn't work for me. So these are the tabs. They come in sort of a strip. I have loads of them because I use them for my client files as well, and I've got one on the front and one on the back of each one, so that obviously I can see from either side what it is. And these were really inexpensive. They were $1.50 for a pack, and there's 30 sheets in a pack as well, so really inexpensive. So for me, I've got on the go to-dos. Obviously I have a master I suppose day planner that I use day to day in my office, but the purposes of my Filofax is more so for my meetings, appointments and kind of social engagements, so it does both business and pleasure for all intents and purposes. So I love the fact that you've got your sort of to-do lists here as well. I use this if I'm out and about. I often arrive early to meetings and, you know, sort of appointments and that. So if I've got some time, I'll jot down to-dos or things that, you know, I haven't kind of gotten onto my day planner yet. So I love the fact that there's the option to do that in this. So next I've got notes and ideas. So these are just sort of, again, you know, projects I might want to work on in the house or in the business or things like that. And I've just decorated the divider a little bit as well. Contacts, I have a master database online for my business. Obviously my phone hosts a huge amount of numbers as well, but what I use this for is kind of more of those kind of I suppose like not unusual, but more sort of non-business related contacts. So things like my dog groomers, the boiler service man, electricians, plumbers, those kind of details I keep in here, because I don't necessarily want them in my phone clogging up my list, because my phone contact book is quite large because I'd have a lot of business contacts in there. Obviously one of the benefits of phones as a wedding planner nowadays is that you can have pretty much everybody's contact details on your phone, so the less I have, the quicker I can get through it. So I don't jam pack it full of those kind of ad hoc services or once every so often services that I might use. Then I have a business notes section. My planner actually came with 4 different colored note paper. The sort of the standard white version, a blue version, a green version, and a pink version, which actually worked out perfectly for me because in my business I've got 3, I suppose, distinct areas. I've got weddings, events, and our professional organizing clients. So we color code them. Events are blue, weddings are pink, and organization is green. So within this section, as you can see, it's entitled Business Notes. So again, when I'm on the go, or if I'm in a meeting about something specific, our events notes are blue, our organizational ones are green, as you can see, and then my pink for weddings. So it just allows me to take very specific notes and keep them sort of in here. And obviously these pages, you know, I've got a stockpile of more. I only keep so many in here so that my Filofax isn't bulging. And once the note's written and I'm sort of working on it, it comes out of here and goes into whatever file it needs to be in. Then obviously you've got personal information section, and obviously you've got your general sort of Filofax details, the little calendars. I just circle very sort of important key dates for quick glance stuff. Obviously my personal details I have covered up for the purposes of this video. I've left in the different sort of, useful, date calendars and detail things In here, for obviously being a planner and event organizer, these are really useful if you're in a meeting. One of the things obviously we try to avoid is clashing a big event or a big wedding with a big social or political or religious holiday or something that might hamper people attending, or being able to travel or things like that. So these kind of pages are really useful. Then of course I've got the Filofax security and registration details there as well, which I often think is kind of funny, and I always say to myself I must remove these from my Filofax, because obviously the purpose of it is if it gets lost or stolen that it's easily replaceable. But if it's in the Filofax, that's not the case. So I'm almost saying I must remove those. And then we're into my schedule as well. So I went for the week to 2 page. Well, not that I went for, it was the only option available to me in the store in the Raspberry Saffiano at the time, was the 1 week to 2 page setup, which looks something a little bit like this. And to be honest, it's working okay for me, but for 2016 I will definitely be going to the 1 page a day version, because it's just not allowing me to write in enough detail for my appointments and meetings and things like that. So this is the week that's just gone by. And as you can see, I do try and sort of personalize and I suppose decorate my week as much as possible. It just enthuses me a little bit more. And one of the things, when I was researching different planners and things, some of them had like beautiful quotes throughout, and I really sort of, one of the reasons I wasn't sort of jumping at the Filofax was because it lacked that sort of personalization and decoration and sort of motivation. But as you can see, I've started to put things like that in myself. The past week was a pretty cool week for me, because obviously it was my birthday. It was also my father's birthday. You can see here that, you know, I'll take a large sticker and I'll say book solid for the office if I don't want to take any appointments on that particular day. I'll do that throughout the week as well, just to give myself a full office day, because Ireland is so small and we service nationwide. Well, obviously we service worldwide. We have passport, we'll travel. But sometimes if we're taken out of the office for like a morning or an afternoon, or indeed that entire day, it pushes you back on your administration side of things. So some weeks I do just need a block book an entire day to focus on things in the office. And then obviously I list out my appointments. I don't necessarily use a color system yet. I am trying to develop more of a sticker system. I want to go to that, but so I can clearly identify, you know, my meeting, my site consultations, my consults with clients, and then my more personal engagements as well. So I do kind of want to go, I'm looking for a proper system to use in my Filofax for that. So if you've got any great suggestions of things that are working for you, please do let me know what they are in the comments below, because I'd love to know. I'm sort of toying between sort of a color dot system and or having stamps specifically made for like the key things. I haven't fully decided on that yet. So for the moment, I'm just using whatever pen is handy and writing it in, and then obviously adding in stickers and stuff as it goes along. I love the little ruler that helps me find whatever page I'm on really quickly, and the fact that it's a ruler as well. Find that really, really useful. So that's pretty much, you know, sort of all of my weeks look the same. I've shared this one for you because it wasn't sort of client detail heavy, because of course I don't want to be sharing any sensitive information with the YouTube public, just because obviously data protection and all the rest of it. So that's pretty much how I sort of set up my week. And then moving on, I'm just going to, obviously, as you can see, because I bought this planner halfway through the year, as I mentioned before, I only started using it June 1st. I actually removed January through May from it. So obviously that's why it's sort of so little here, because obviously this is just from the start of June till the end of December. And like I mentioned, for next year I definitely will, for the purposes I need, be moving to a page a day setup. So then we flip to the end of the sort of the date section. And you've got some more pages for notes and stuff. I'll actually be purchasing a few more of the, you know, I'm going to buy a sort of a set of these. Very, very useful for me for like drawing examples or taking sketches and things when I'm on the go. So I will be buying some more of those. I only have 2 or 3 left at the moment. Because once I'm finished, you know, sort of once I've drawn or taken the note or whatever it is I'm doing on these, I then put them in the client file they were linked to. Love the little reminder to buy the 2016, and then we've got another disclosure at the end. Then you have this sort of, I suppose, see-through plastic envelope, and I have a couple of post-its in here, some sticky tabs, my filing tabs with me, I find those really useful, and then just another little envelope for receipts or business cards or whatever I might need it for on the go as well. And love this. This was actually one of the reasons that I went for this particular, for the Saffiano and the Filofax in this size, was the fact that it had this pad that slips into the back of the organizer. I absolutely love this because it allows me to not have to bring a really, really big like A4 pad or notepad with me when I go to meetings. I can take all my meetings or all my notes on this, and again just take them off, type them into the system, or file them in my client file when I get back to the office. So really love it. And as you can see already, I've used quite a bit of this in this sort of a month that I've had it. So that's kind of the end of my setup. As I say, I've just moved in, as it were, about a month ago into the Saffiano. I absolutely love it. I love the size, which is A5. Works great with all my work handbags. Obviously this is not going to fit into a clutch handbag or a small handbag, but it works great for my sort of work handbags. Good size, plenty of room, as you can see. Now, like I mentioned to you, I only have June to December in here, and I am a week to 2 page, but there's still plenty of room for extra stuff in there. Really good, sort of sturdy. I love the color, love the finish of it as well. Very, very happy. Still obviously a couple of more things to kind of decide in terms of the setup internally for me, especially when it comes to setting up meetings and appointments and stuff. So when I have that totally figured out, I might do a little update for you guys. But if you have this particular Filofax or planner, or if you're using something similar and you do things a little bit differently and you think it would be beneficial, I would absolutely love to either watch your video or hear about it. So please do leave some comments in the comments below about that. Thanks a million for watching this. I hope you enjoyed seeing how I use my planner, and give us an old thumbs up or subscribe if you'd like to see more. Looking forward to talking to you all again soon. Thanks a million. Bye bye.